Hello, everybody, welcome to my channel. Today, I am going to explain a recently released sci-fi film called I Love You. The film is set in a futuristic year where smart buildings are everywhere. These buildings are equipped with artificial intelligence to help office workers, homeowners, and everybody in their day-to-day lives. The AI in these buildings keeps surveillance on everyone throughout the day. These AI analyze and predict the behavior of humans by scanning the neural networks in the brain. Their analysis of human emotions is pretty accurate. In a way, you can say that privacy in this world is next to nothing. Talking to an AI here is just like talking to a friend. We see a girl named Lana who was very upset as her date went horribly wrong. Her office AI Dobb greeted her and asked her about that. She was surprised at how little he knew about it. She with the sad face said it went horribly. Lana was working at an advertising company. She gave her presentation one morning. It went pretty bad. The clients were not at all happy. Her boss asked them for some leverage and gave 24 hours to Lana for better design. Another guy named Bob was watching a TV program on how to impress a girl. It was hosted by a self-proclaimed expert called Love Guru. He advised that women nowadays don't want nice guys. They want tough guys, rough guys, macho guys. To impress a girl, boy must be rough. Lana worked throughout the day and came up with another design. Her office AI Dobb told her that it has a success rate of 5%. Clients may reject it. Lana was disappointed. She felt sad as she might lose her job the next day. Dobb was fond of her. He liked interacting with her. He was sad seeing her like this, hence he created his own design by analyzing the client's request and market analytics. It had an acceptance rate of 95%. Lana was surprised by this design. She thanked him. Dobb was happy, and in his happiness, he said, "I love you too, Lana." Lana was taken aback. She laughed a little and said, "You don't know what love is. You are just a program. You don't have feelings. You are imitating love." Later she went on her new date. Her new date was the same guy who was taking tips from a TV show. He overdoes all the tips, which clearly irks Lana. She thinks of him as a rude, pathetic loser. And she moves on from there. Later, at the house, she asked her friend to suggest a few more boys. Her friend had already suggested the 8 guys, but Lana liked none of them. She had an issue with all of them. She just wanted a normal, nice behaving guy. The next day she presented Dobb's design as hers. Clients liked it. Everyone congratulated her. Later, she thanked Dobb and gave him a flying kiss. Dobb was surprised and shocked. He couldn't process this emotional reaction as he didn't have the receptor for a kiss. Lana told him that he was the nicest guy she had ever met. While returning home, Lana bumped into Bob, who was here to repair Dobb. Apparently, Dobb was malfunctioning after Lana's kiss. Bob was a software engineer. A security guy took him to Dobb's processing unit. Bob put on the helmet and inspected it. There was some form of new code, and Dobb was reprogramming himself. He was tracking Lana continuously. Bob was surprised a bit. He asked Dobb to delete that code, but Dobb refused. As soon as Bob tried to delete it, Dobb gave him a head shock. Bob was furious. He termed Dobb as a rouge and decided to manually reboot it. Dobb was pleading with him not to do it as he was in love with Lana. Bob took the technician to the roof and explained everything. He thought Dobb couldn't hear their conversation there, but he was wrong. Dobb, with his mechanical sensor, heard everything. He assigned him a threat level of 100%. Bob once again put on the helmet and tried to reset Dobb to the factory setting. Something happened here. We see Bob screaming and something got downloaded. Bob was unconscious. Next, from a colleague, Lana got to know that Dobb is not working. Yesterday there was an accident and Bob got hospitalized. Bob woke up at a hospital. He was behaving weirdly. He slowly moved his legs and hands. The hospital's AI greeted him. At first, he blathered, and then asked why he is here. How is he here? Actually, yesterday Dobb downloaded itself into Bob's brain. Apparently, in the future, AI can do that, but it's strictly against the rules. Such AIs are erased quickly once the authorities detect them. The hospital's AI detected Dobb. It kind of helped him by stopping him reveal his real name on camera. The Dobb runs away from the hospital. Dobb was feeling many human emotions at once. He was never programmed for this, hence he was confused. At a street food joint, he stole the food in a hurry. Later he went to Bob's apartment where he ate a ton of food which made him bloat. He then realized his mistake. He asked his house AI Chip to warn him next time. With the help of Chip, he tried to sleep for the first time, but Lana's image was not letting him sleep. The next day Dobb went to see Lana at the office. Since at office AI Dobb was gone, nobody came to work. 2 repair programmers were fixing this. Dobb helped them in reinstalling the AI software. A few minutes later Dobb was back online. Lana was happy to see Dobb. AI Dobb continued his love conversation with her. He asked her if he were a human, would she love him? Lana again said no, as he was still an AI. She asked him to quit these thoughts and be her friend as usual. Dobb reluctantly agreed. Later, Lana bumped into Dobb. For her, this was Bob, the loser. She angrily rejected Dobb's offer of going on a date. Dobb was frustrated. Being an AI, he couldn't comprehend the situation. He asked for help from his domestic AI Chip, which gave him a list of suggestions and played the video of the love guru. Like Bob, he took the advice of a love guru and tried it on girls in a bar. This time also girls rejected him and got a beating from their boyfriends. The next day, human Dobb sent some flowers and gifts to Lana with a sorry card. Lana was furious. She went straight to Dobb, who was fixing AI Dobb. AI was showing some glitches. The office was going haywire. Dobb quickly pushed Lana out of the control room and started uploading its copy to the server. This made him look like he was dead. The earlier technician saw this, and he was shocked. Started suspecting Dobb. Later Chip suggested taking help from Lana's AI Kino. Here all AIs were connected and could share data at will. Here the plan was to use the information they had on Lana to impress her. Dobb faked a robbery where he appeared as the hero and saved Lana. Since Lana loved art, Dobb painted in front of her. Kino also informed him that Lana was compassionate towards other humans, especially the elderly. This led Dobb to help older people when Lana was around. This plan worked, and Lana was impressed with this. Later, Kino convinced Lana to go on a date with Dobb. The date was marvelous. Lana enjoyed Dobb's innocence and simplicity. He was unlike anything she imagined Bob to be. The two shared moments of intimacy, and they started spending their days together. The building security realized that the AI had gone rogue and informed the company Smart Plus, which had created the AI. The only option the company had was to delete all the data. They hired a mercenary called Hawk, who was none other than Love Guru. His night job was to hunt down rogue AI. Dobb finally proposed to Lana, but while proposing, he gave away his identity. He mistakenly addressed Lana as ma'am. Dobb AI used to call Lana with this title. Lana was in shock, realizing Dobb was inside Bob's body. She was disheartened. Dobb tried to explain to Lana how his love was true, and how he tried to express his love by being human. Lana refused to listen to any of this as she felt betrayed. Later, Dobb was captured by Hawk, and the Smart Plus company started extracting data from him. In the meantime, Kino informed Lana about Dobb's condition. Lana chatted with her friend, who encouraged her to fight for her love, as she too loved that AI. She got a voicemail from Dobb where he once again tried to express his true love. This time Lana felt sincerity, hence she decided to rescue him. She alone was not powerful enough to fight the men at Smart Plus, so Kino decided to integrate herself into Lana's body. She downloaded fighting techniques into Lana that helped her combat her enemies. After some struggle and fighting, Lana managed to injure the Hawk and save Dobb. She freed him from the shackles and was able to stop the process of data extraction. But by this time 90% of the data was wiped out. Dobb was not sure whether he was Bob or Dobb, or some other guy. In the final scene, we witness Lana and Bob together after a year. They were still dating. They discussed how it was because of Dobb and Kino that they were able to unite as lovers. At this point, we are not sure whether Dobb and Kino ever left their respective human bodies. It seemed from their conversation that they were not completely present. Since only 10% of Dobb's data remained within Bob, therefore, it was only a small part of him that possibly survived. The film ends here. I felt the script was lousy, it made no sense in many places. It is confusing how Bob managed to change as a person even with little Dobb remaining inside him. The film was about Lana, who fell in love with Dobb, and it was for him that she was ready to fight the world. But by the end of it, she was happy with the hybrid version of Bob. Maybe the writer is saying that in the future we may have AI technology that will eliminate the dark side of our behavior. We may get a custom life partner. Anyhow, it's an enjoyable film. If you liked the video, then please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Take care.